Good morning, and welcome to day two of the Red Letter Advent. I hope you're having a great Advent so far. You're on day two. Way to go. You've made it to day two. See the rest? That'll be easy peasy. So I'm glad you're with us today. Today, you're going to be putting something into your cart. You're going to be putting some hope into your cart. You know what sometimes makes it hard for us to put hope in our checkout cart? Well, it's because we think of things from our perspective and not from God's. We sometimes sit back and we worry and we say, how in the world is God going to resolve this situation? How is he ever going to get these pieces back together? How is he ever going to make my world sane again? How is he going to end this conflict? How is he going to? But you see, that's because we're limited. We go, I have no idea. I have no clue how I would do this. But you see, God's not limited. God, the very creator of the ends of the earth, there's nothing outside of his control. There's nothing outside of his possibilities. He's limited by nothing. His righteousness, his grace, his mercy, his ability to see and understand, to cope and to reason are boundless. Isaiah says, who can fathom, right? The depths of this mind of God. So I think sometimes we have to step back and say, you know what? This is not too heavy for God. It might be for me. And that's where I put my hope, my trust, my confidence in the one who keeps all his promises. You know, God was not limited at all by Abraham and Sarah's age when he promised them a child. Remember, Abraham was 100 years old. I'd have been thinking, okay, this just isn't going to happen. But see, that's my thinking, my human reasoning, not God's. And they waited, and the promised son came, just like God had promised. Well, that reminds me of a second promise that God made of a son that would come. Abraham waited, his family waited, generations after generations, century after century, they waited for this son who would come, who would be the hope of the world. And even when he came as a child of the manger, and the shepherds heard the angels and they celebrated with joy, they had no idea what lay ahead for this little baby. They had no idea how he was the hope of the world. So today, on day two of your Advent challenge, as you are adding hope to your cart, I hope that you remember that when we hope in God, we are not putting our faith in something that might possibly work. No, we're putting our hope in a sure and certain word of God that says, I've got this. I'll handle this. Well, I hope you're having a blessed Advent. Enjoy your reading, and we'll see you tomorrow on day three. It's funny how that works. 1, 2, 3. I wonder who came up with that numbering system. It works pretty good, I